Hello, hello. So we are here for an incredible interview. So I've got a co-guest with me on this video, and I'm very, very excited and very honored. This is actually one of my business partners, Cindy Ryland. She is exceptional, and you're going to really enjoy this video. She is a wellness practitioner, a live blood analysis. She is a holistic cancer coach. She has an incredible story, incredible journey, and very much the reason why she has come here to me with this product, to stand behind it, to use it with her clients. She is opening a wellness space right now in studio to do in person. But right now, Cindy, you're mainly taking clients through online and Zoom, but she has seen some powerful testimonials. And I invited Cindy to join me here just to talk a little bit about our NutriSwish, and just to make it super digestible and simple for you to really just hear a few things that are going to make it easy for you to understand what the heck is in this bottle and why is it so awesome. So from a clinical and practitioner's standpoint and perspective here, who has been using it with clients, has been seeing some wild testimonials. Cindy, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Cindy, let's talk about in like the most simple, basic terms, what the heck is glutathione?
Okay, cool. Yeah, so glutathione is basically the key that turns on every cell in your body, makes every cell work. So that's like at the simplest level. Every single cell needs support, right? So we need our nutrition, we need our water, we need our rest. We know what the body needs, all of those things. Our cells, every single cell needs glutathione. It's what turns it on. It's what makes it work. And so when we're deficient in glutathione, then our cells struggle, right? And if our cells struggle, then our tissues struggle, then our organs struggle, and our body struggle.
It's almost like the motherboard.
Yeah, it's that one key, right? If you don't have that, you don't have anything.
Right. So it's really very critical to life, just like oxygen would be to our body. If we didn't have oxygen, our life would be complete. If we didn't have glutathione, our life would be complete. And because glutathione depletes at about 8 to 12% per decade, this is actually why eventually some people will pass by natural causes, because at some point the body is actually just fully depleted of one of its critical components.
Absolutely. And that's what I tell people. It is actually the life cycle. It is the key to our life cycle, right? It builds and builds and builds as we come up to 20. So our body is producing it naturally at ideally optimal levels, all things being equal. We'll talk a little bit about that, what depletes it. And then at the age of 20, we start to our bodies produce less and less and less. Like you said, every decade it declines 8 to 12%. If we lived in a perfect bubble with no toxins, no stress, perfect nutrition, perfect energy, perfect movement, then that would be the case. And we would slowly deplete until end of life and have a great life full of vitality and health and ease.
And then, so let's talk about what is it that is beginning to deplete it.
So depletion comes from, number one thing that blows it up is stress. And we live in our world. Our world is constant go, 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 stress, stress, stress. So stress, our body just eats through glutathione as one of the ways to support ourselves through that, whether it's mental stress, emotional stress, physical stress from an illness or an injury, all of it is stress. And so a lot of people that come to me and work with me say, well, I'm not that stressed. I'm like, all right, let's look at what body products you're using. Let's look at if your nutrition is 100% on point. Let's see if you've sprained your ankle or twisted, just kind of twisted funny and have a little bit of back pain. Those are all stressors, but we don't think just the air we breathe. If you are anywhere around a vehicle, you are breathing in some kind of fume. Right now, one of the biggest stressors for people, even in the most pristine places, is the pollen that's in the air. That pollen is super fine. It comes in the body. It puts a stress on the body. So when I talk about stress, yes, it's the big life-changing events stress, but it's also those little tiny things that happen every single day. Even the very act of breathing creates stress in the body, right? It creates free radicals, which are stressors on the body. If there's not enough glutathione to deal with them, they will begin to break down the body as well. So it's when I say stress, I'm talking all of it, not just the big stuff. Every little
oxidative
bit.
Stress. I know for my husband, like for him, what's huge is that he was an extreme sportist. His whole life, he's broken almost every bone in his body. So his body came into a lot of stress because of the stress that was put on his body from these sports and depleting it through like recovery and stuff. So that is so powerful. Now I know that in this bottle, it's not just the glutathione. We also have a few other really power heavy hitter ingredients in here. So I just wanted to make mention, and super, super simplified. So for our, beginner,
Yep.
our beginner listener and our beginners to, NutriSwish and glutathione can kind of make sense of this. So we have L-cysteine. What is that and why is that in here?
Yeah. So one of the things that the body does, well, we've already talked about it. It makes glutathione on its own. It needs 3 components basically to put together to make its own glutathione. L-cysteine is one of those. And so by adding it in there, the thought process is we give the body directly glutathione that it can use immediately because it gets absorbed right from the mouth and instantaneously is going into the cells. The cells are like, "Ooh, give me that," because they want it, they need it, so they suck it up. It's wrapped in water, which the body needs, so it sucks it in. But then once we get into that level, so once we get through it and replenish the depletion of our glutathione, we want to still give the body what it needs to do what it does naturally. And one of those key components is L-cysteine. And so by adding that in there, it's supportive of the body to just keep manufacturing its own glutathione at that decreased rate over aging time, but still manufacturing it. So L-cysteine is added in for that. There's also curcumin, which is phenomenal anti-inflammatory. Anyone who has been in the space has probably heard about curcumin, looked at pain, right? Heard about curcumin. Traditionally, curcumin is extremely hard for the body, although it's phenomenal for the body, extremely hard for the body to absorb because it's such a big molecule. So using the technology that they used in the swish and in the spray, it's nanosized, so it's able to go into the body. The body's like, "Yep, give me more of that," and I will turn down the inflammation. There was something else. Was there something else in there that I wanted to mention too? I just looking
the L-cysteine, the vitamin C, Vitamin C.
Yeah. So vitamin C is really cool. So you guys have probably all heard that when you get a cold, take vitamin C. Vitamin C is an amazing antioxidant. Glutathione is actually the master antioxidant. So if you want to think about it, vitamin C is very good at doing its job, one job, like very specific. It does its thing. It's kind of in the assembly line. It does its one thing. But glutathione is like the master formula.
Entire production.
And it's like, I can just fit in anywhere. I can do anything anywhere.
Right.
So what's really cool is when we pair these two together, vitamin C does its job. So that relieves glutathione to go do work in other places. And glutathione will recycle the vitamin C. So if the body doesn't use all of the vitamin C and instead of like pushing it into, okay, well, let's just pass it out, glutathione is like, nope, come on back and go over here. And it kind of deploys it where it needs it. So when you pair those two together, you get an extra boost of antioxidants.
It's like vitamin C is laying it up so that glutathione can come in and give it a slam dunk. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and there's really one more in here too, alpha lipic acid, or ALA.
Alpha lipoic acid. So that one is,
I can't even say it. So y'all, beginners, don't even worry.
And my brain, as you're saying it, so not stumbling over it, my brain went to, okay, how do we say it? And I'm like, my brain just went, why do we have that one again? So I'm like, oh crap, we have that. Let me just grab something really, really quick because I just don't want to completely. I'm
sure there's reasons for why everything's in it, and there's like supportive reasons, but I'm sure there's like a purpose for it. And here's the thing, we don't need to go through every single, those are the ingredients, right?
Well, at the base, it's another antioxidant. So
another antioxidant. So it's doing another role, just like the vitamin C would be doing. It's doing another specific role, but when paired together, it's obviously, because it's in there, it's going to free up glutathione to do something else, because you've got vitamin C doing its thing, you've got the ALA doing its thing, and then glutathione's like, thanks guys, now I'm going to just take it over here and I'm going to go do the work I need to do over here. So
and what glutathione does at that point, because we didn't talk about it, is if you're low on nutrition, if you've got stress, if you've got energy, or low energy, if you've got injuries, if you're drinking alcohol, if you're taking in toxins, by having those in there, it frees up glutathione to go after all of those other things. And glutathione also then grabs a hold of the supplements, the nutrients, the things from your food, and it directs it where to go to. So it's like this master, really, it is the master director, coordinator, antioxidant, the thing the body needs to kind of, if you're experiencing early aging visuals, so that, right, if you look like you're aging faster, then it's a deficiency in glutathione. It's really quite cool.
It is so cool. It's so cool. And I know you've seen some powerful testimonials in your clinic space, just before and after, when you do live blood analysis, to clients who have not been able to see any changes in, certain health concerns that they've had, to all of a sudden, like, we're seeing results in 1 to 2 days with things. I've had multiple testimonials like this. Another one just came in yesterday and we were like, what? It's just so crazy. Like, things that you can't deny, like a client who's had an issue for 7 months, took a before picture, and we see this after picture and we're just blown away. And I mean, we have tons of these testimonials, before and after photos, that you can check out. We have them inside our team's education group. And there's just, it is honestly, it's really cool to watch this happen, because we're actually giving the body back something the body naturally kind of decreases production, so that at some point there's not a gajillion people living on this planet. I'm sure there's a reason for why people at some point have to complete their lives, and we're like, no, we're giving you back exactly what you need. But and I mean, in essence, it's so that we can live a life of a life of longevity, but also of a very high quality of a life, and a life that feels good all the way to the end. And this is what we want. We don't want to be living with aches and pains and thinking that's normal, or hearing the phrase, well, I'm just getting old, or I'm old. Of course, this is happening. My back hurts, but I'm old. It doesn't have to be that way. That's not a sign of getting old. That's a sign of a lot of stress on your body. And, these are things that we can change. So, Cindy, I am so grateful that you are here, that you've been able to help provide a little bit of extra knowledge for us as we go off and we share NutriSwish, and we are helping our family and friends with, getting it into their hands, or just using it for ourselves in our own health and well-being and in our family. So thank you so much for joining me and sharing your beautiful knowledge.
You're welcome. It will support you in all of your adventures that you're off to, right? As you go into, that's what I think about when I'm like, oh yeah, so Jen is on a mission to just enjoy life. And that's what this is about, to enable you to enjoy and go into all those caves and do those swinging things that you do with ease and with vitality.
Yeah, exactly. Recover from all the cenote jumps that we do in Mexico. Awesome. Well, thank you, Cindy, and we'll see you soon.